With the upcoming release of Tekken 8 soon to come out, I thought I'd go back and review the old classic Tekken. So here are my thoughts on this video game. Oh yes, the beginning of this franchise. Now despite the fact this game came out nearly 30 years ago, it's still being played today. Heck, even I went back recently and replayed this one. And I must say, while this game didn't have the advanced features of its future installments, it's still very enjoyable. So the story of this one is that Heihachi takes his 5-year-old son, Kazuya, and then just callously throws him off a mountain. Man, I must admit, that's some crazy shit for Heihachi to do that to his own son. And the reason Heihachi did that is because he wanted to test his son's strength to see if his son could lead the family business. Well, Kazuya survives the fall. He gets what's called the Devil Gene, which gives him immense strength and power, and he ultimately gets his revenge by doing this to his father in this cutscene here. Yeah, talk about fair play. It only makes sense for Kazuya to do that to his own father. And by the way, what the hell's up with that creepy smile? Anyway, this is an entertaining game. The music's great and the characters have some very cool fighting styles. Characters such as King, Prototype, Jack, Paul Phoenix, Nina, Martial Law, Lee, and several others. And each character gets their own ending, but the only one that's canon is the one with Kazuya and his father, Heihachi. Overall, certainly one of the weaker entries in this Tekken series, but this is not a bad game. It's just time has not done this one any favors. And this video game was very popular amongst fans. And not just that, it helped out Namco and Sony in a huge way, becoming the first PlayStation 1 game to sell 1 million copies. During the time when this game came out, only 2D fighters were really popularized, such as Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. Like, there really wasn't a successful 3D fighting game until the first Tekken came along and changed the game. One thing I did notice is that despite how goofy some of the cutscenes look, honestly, it was 1994, so it fit back then. But I was a little confused how there was not any voice overs, like no voices. Like, why couldn't they been in this game? I get it was 94, but you had some video games during a time that had some kind of voice dialogue. Nonetheless, though, this is a game that left its legacy. It spawned 6 sequels and 3 spin-offs. And you know what they say, the rest is history. And this is just a PS1 game that I could go back to every once in a while and have a good time with. Still though, at the end of the day, if you somehow haven't played this one, then definitely check it out, because while it's not the best in the franchise, it still is worth playing through. I'm giving this video game a 6 out of 10. And the reason being is that this one only has 3 game modes: arcade, 2-player, and test mode. And that is real bare minimum considering the advanced features that Tekken 2 has. And not just that, this one doesn't have much replay value. Like I mentioned before, I did go back and replay this one. And sure, it's a fun time, but other than that, there's not much to offer from this first video game in this series. One thing I will say is that the lore will be greatly expanded upon these characters, and certainly for Kazuya's story and how he ultimately becomes the anti-hero. And that is my review of the PS1 game, Tekken. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section, and let me know what you think about this video game. Now, my review of Tekken 2 will be coming up sometime in the future on my channel, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.